A little light from the open door glints on some of the giant contraption's workings, wild angles casting strange shadows. The sharp blades and tight-edged cogs of the huge machine crafted to spin and whir, frozen in a moment, shocked by their own unnatural repose. Small feet tread lightly into the wide, high open, meticulously littered with this metal dead, filling it with sounds of his obtrusive creeping, passing through this temple of angry silence, feeling the need of steel to fulfill its purpose. Lakes of oil lay congealed about it, lubricating its non-moving parts, covered with dark clouds of entropic dust that had been gathered by the centuries and laid upon it, pulling a heavy blanket over the Titan's rest. A laugh nervously erupts from the tiny stranger, then bounces around the hard forms that surround, coming back as a humorless roar, sneering at the impudence of his endeavour. He bounds now along the spindly ornate walkways that wind round and through this sleeping terror, little fat legs pounding on metal, beating out a rhythm, driven by hope, fueled by fear, catching a glimpse of his reflection in odd-angled metal, untouched by dust. He sees the old man he's become, a lifetime spent in focused endeavour, all his steps leading him here. Stopping for a rest in the near darkness, he mourns the young man that he was from long ago, quiet but happy, living amongst his gentle tribe, till there came the people of hatred, violence and fire in their wake. Power and corruption stood for virtue, empty and base, filled with a black hunger. They stood high on the backs of those they conquered. With hands made for writing and body for sitting, he'd abandoned sword and shield and taken a different path against the foe, seeking out myths of they whom history had forgot, the creatures of the before time, an old race who had faded so long ago. Their stories were whispers the wind told its dreams. They who were not trapped in the solid world, but wove life into their own choosing, experiencing and musing on their creation, then unwinding and starting anew. Then a hint in old tones, a slight mention of a machine to change reality. Years passed, and the darkness spread, gripping the known world and its terror. All seemed lost and beyond redemption. Hearing a scream of anger from his pursuers in the doorway that set his heart to ice, he rushed further into the centre of it all, praying there was still time. Entering a chamber, the savage warriors in fast pursuit, a single plain lever sat before him, next to a panel on which he placed his hand. After all those years of study and planning, hoping and searching, while the world around him turned to dust, he closed his eyes and prayed for success. A deep moan issued from within the metal. It spoke of power contained for an unbearable time and an ancient arrogance being released. Cogs clicked, slowly at first, parts coming together like greeting old friends. Then the metal giant sprang into life proper, speedily turning, spinning and dancing, casting off its mocking covering of ages-old dust. Within his mind, a universe appeared, moving to the rhythm of his heartbeat, stars and galaxies bowing to their new hidden master. A dark-garbed warrior entering the chamber, raising his sword to strike the enemy down, but disappeared, followed by the others, then every single one of his race. With a thought, he had ended them. They didn't die, they had never been. And so, with history changed and darkness conquered, he made to exit his marvellous discovery, to resume life amongst his peaceful tribe. Then stopped, feeling the power within him, sensing the things that could be achieved. So stayed in the maelstrom of spinning metal, not knowing who was master and who was servant, feeling the threads of reality slip away.